Now your Storm Track forecast first, sponsored by Kansas 811.
Good evening and welcome. For today, we are looking just mostly clear across our central Topeka camera, but we have just another summer-like day. Temperature sitting at 85 degrees in Topeka, 88 for Manhattan, and even lower 90s for Concordia. As we head into tomorrow, a cold front on the way, knocking our temperatures down. How cool can we get? I'll show you that coming up.
Now on 27 News.
Tonight at 6, a Shawnee County judge hands down a life sentence 1 year after a jury convicted a man for his role in a deadly crash. How much time he'll spend behind bars. Plus, President Trump shares big news for next year's FIFA World Cup, when we'll learn the matchups for the first games in the International Soccer Tournament. And we're kicking off a busy football weekend. The Kansas City Chiefs play in an hour, and the Kansas State Wildcats play in Ireland tomorrow. And that is where we start tonight, connecting with our 27 News team live from Kansas City and the Emerald Isle. Good evening, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us at 27 News at 6. I'm Rob Hughes. Tonight we are kicking off a very busy football weekend. 27 News is working for you, following your favorite teams across the area playing this weekend. We're going to hear from sports anchor Cindy Clark before the Chiefs kick off their last preseason game in just a few minutes. But first, the clock is ticking as we get closer to the showdown between Kansas State and Iowa State across the pond in Ireland, but fans are already celebrating. 27 News anchor Rebecca Chung and sports director Cole Implett join us live now from the Emerald Isle with a look at how K-State fans are getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, right now K-State fans are packing the streets of Dublin and kind of outnumbering Iowa State fans from what we're seeing.
K-State clearly had a big presence today, and of course we saw that at the pep rally down at Marion Square. Thousands of fans showing up, being loud, doing the Wildcats iconic chant, of course led by Willie the Wildcat, and getting ready for, of course, what's expected to be a top intense matchup between both squads. And we got a chance to catch up with some of those passionate fans.
Oh, we are excited about this game. We've been waiting for this game for a year and a half. And tell you what, the Wildcat fans show up and they show out, and we're going to go and really kick some Cyclone rear tomorrow. We cannot wait.
Dogs, sheep cheering, and we actually have had great food, and we're going to watch K-State win tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of excited fans out here. And Cole, let's also take a moment to talk about the significance of this matchup for K-State and Iowa State.
Of course, it's the top 25 matchup overseas in Dublin, a Big 12 showdown, and of course, Farmageddon. It truly does not get better than that.
All right, and the fanfare does not stop here. We spoke with Damian Olalio's family. He's one of the star players and a captain this year for K-State. We're going to hear from them coming up at 10. For now, live in Ireland, I'm Rebecca Chung.
And I'm Cole Implett. Back to you.
All right, well, hey, thank you so much, Rebecca and Cole. We're wishing you both a safe trip back after the game. Want to turn now to 27 sports anchor Cindy Clark. She is at Arrowhead for the Kansas City Chiefs' last preseason game. Hey there, Cindy. How's the team looking?
Well, it is electric right now as game day is officially back in Arrowhead as the Chiefs are set off in their third preseason game against the Chicago Bears. Now, the Chiefs have lost their last two games against the Seahawks and the Cardinals, but there's no need to worry anyone, as now is the time in preseason for those guys who are deeper in the depth chart to get their reps in ahead of the season. Now, we haven't seen much of the starters this preseason, but head coach Andy Reid said they will get the start tonight.
They're going to start. Yeah, they'll start it off. We'll just see how it goes from there. Just a little bit longer wait, here at the in between this game and the next game. And so I just think I'd rather give the guys a little bit more time in this game. The timing keeps a little closer to when we get to our game.
And in just a bit, we will talk deeper into what that 53-man roster cut means on Tuesday ahead of this preseason game. Working for you live in Arrowhead, Cindy Clark, 27 Sports.
All right, thank you so much, Cindy. Can't wait for that. We do have, meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs kicking off in an hour, of course, and then Kansas State playing in Ireland tomorrow morning to start the college football season. KU is also going to hit the field tomorrow night, and it is a big game for the team. It is their first game inside the new David Booth Memorial Stadium. The improved home for the Jayhawks is a major commitment to its football program, which has also seen some improvements in the last few years. When KU head football coach Lance Leipold arrived in 2021, the program had 20 wins under 5 coaches. Well, Coach Leipold has 22 wins, including a 1-1 bowl game record in back-to-back seasons. Well, having a week 0 game a week earlier than normal is a mixed bag for coaches and players, but for a program competing in the Big 12, it also presents an opportunity.
For us to have a window on national television to expose our program, our stadium, and everything like that is something that we should be extremely excited about and embrace.
Well, if you cannot get to Lawrence, you can catch tomorrow's KU game against Fresno State over on our sister station, Fox 43 KTMJ. And the weather's going to play a big role in all these games we're watching. Want to check in with Ashton Rizzo with a look at our forecast. So, hey there, Ashton. So can you walk us through the conditions we're all going to see for tip-off?
Yeah, so as we continue into this weekend, we really do just have nice weather really across the area. But also, even for our game in Ireland and Dublin, we do have just a few rain chances for tomorrow. Just those isolated rain chances, but temperatures are going to be into the upper 60s, looking just partly cloudy. So not terrible conditions for kickoff there in Dublin. And then a bit more local look, if you're staying local, Lawrence's kickoff tomorrow at 5:30 for the KU game, and we are sitting at 83 degrees for kickoff, and post-game sitting at 72 degrees. So as we head into tomorrow, we do have a cold front on the way, and that's going to help to keep those temperatures quite manageable for all the events going on tomorrow. 85 degrees is our current temperature. We have just a nice northwest breeze at about 3 miles per hour, and our dew points are going to start to drop as we continue into the next couple of days. 65 is our dew point in Topeka at the moment, but you notice the drier air already settling in through Lawrence down to Burlington and further into central Kansas. We have that dry air already starting to push in. So dew points fall off as we continue into this week. Winds at the moment are staying just really from primarily the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then a cold front moves through for tomorrow, knocking our temperatures down. And how cool can we get? I'll show you that coming up.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon, Ashton. Well, while you're out driving this weekend, it may be tempting to avoid the Polk Quincy construction by cutting through a neighborhood, but the city of Topeka says, well, not so fast. It is reminding drivers to follow the marked detours to the river on the Kansas Avenue Bridge. Police are going to be out conducting traffic enforcement in the area just to make sure people are using the detours and keep traffic moving safely. And just in tonight, a Shawnee County judge sentences a man to life in prison after he killed a Topeka woman 2 years ago. 40-year-old Michael Lester will spend at least 51 years in prison before he's up for parole. He was also sentenced to 44 months on related charges. The jury convicted Lester last year for his role in a deadly crash killing Alicia Noriega. This happened at Northwest St. John and Northwest Tyler Street in North Topeka. Officers found Noriega and took her to a hospital where she later died. Lester was found guilty of first-degree murder, fleeing a police officer, and leaving the scene of an accident. We now know when we're going to learn the matchups for next year's FIFA World Cup. President Trump announced the draw for the International Soccer Tournament will take place December 5th at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. He made the announcement alongside FIFA's president.
But right here in Washington, D.C., it's a tremendous honor to bring the global event and this incredible group of people and these unbelievable athletes, the best athletes in the world, to the cultural center of our nation's capital.
The draw will decide which of the 48 teams will play each other in the group stage. Well, that's up from 32 teams in the last World Cup. The first World Cup game in Kansas City will be on June 16th. Kansas City will host 4 group stages at Arrowhead as well as a quarterfinal game. Well, going out for a bite to eat costs more these days. Up next on 27 News at 6, what more adults are doing to save money and how one of the country's biggest fast food chains is reacting to declining sales.
Coming up later in sports, the Chiefs gear up for its final preseason game. Plus, we hear from Coach Kleiman one last time ahead of Saturday's Farmageddon contest. We'll have all that and more in 15 minutes.
You're watching 27 News at 4:30 on KSNT. Winner of the regional Edward R. Murrow Award for continuing coverage.
It's time for a 27 News Late Day Conversation, and we have Don Lewis, part of the ownership group that will run the Topeka hockey franchise, and hockey player Nick Catola. And he's in from one of the visiting teams, I guess, playing on a neutral side, so this is exciting. So Don, I got to start with you, though. You're partly responsible for bringing hockey back. It was so popular when it was here. What makes this market so attractive?
We're really excited. Our ownership group and I were really excited. They had professional hockey, then they went to the juniors when we were looking around at different markets of where to go. When we met with everybody in Topeka. They were just, they welcomed us with open arms, and we're excited to bring professional hockey back.
Explain a little bit about the Federal Prospects Hockey League and what the schedule is going to look like beginning in October this year.
Yeah, so beginning in October, we play 28 home games. It's a 28 home game schedule. It'll go from October to April, so we're really excited about that, bringing 28 more dates.
Wow, that's very impressive, though. That's a nice slate of games.
It is. We're really excited for it. It goes quick. We play a lot of Friday, Saturdays. Not many weekday games, so we're pretty lucky with the way the schedule's starting to shape up already behind the scenes.
Well, you've been building up all the excitement here. You've been doing some good work in the community, but you also have some neutral site games coming in. Explain how that's going to play out this weekend and next.
Yeah, so we play 4 neutral site games this Friday, Saturday, and then next Friday, Saturday. Baton Rouge, Louisiana's up, and they're going to be the Topeka Roadrunners. And then we got Danville, Illinois coming in, and they're going to actually be the Scarecrows. So our jerseys just came in today for that stuff. So just a kind of a little bit of a throwback, fun themed game for everybody in Topeka.
All right, Nick, tell me about your experience so far. You got in on Monday. What's the preparation like for these games tomorrow night and Saturday?
Well, we took the ice early in the morning, and we usually start practice around 9, 10 o'clock. And as soon as we stepped on the ice, it just felt amazing. Like, the preparation for the ice and everything, and all the staff for the arena staff has done a wonderful job, and it's been a great experience so far.
Are you impressed with Stormont Vale Event Center?
Oh, yes.
You think it's going to be a good place for hockey?
I believe so. I think it's going to be an exciting atmosphere, especially for these next 2 games. We're going to really feel it from these fans who have kind of been waiting for this.
And what about the vintage jerseys? I mean, what's that like to wear a different team's jersey when you're coming into play?
Well, it's just part of the business, you got to do some promotional stuff, and it's really cool. I like the jerseys. The design for both jerseys is super awesome.
And give a little shout out to the team that you play for, the Zydeco's.
Yeah, so I play for the Baton Rouge Zydeco. I'm a defenseman, and we were having a really good season this year. We're in the playoff hunt.
Oh, terrific. Hope it goes well for you. And let's talk a little bit about what's going to really crank up here on the tickets for this weekend and next, how people can get those.
Yeah, they can go to the Stormont Vale Center box office during the week, and then obviously you can walk up and get your tickets the night of the game as also.
And are you guys trying to evolve this into a real event besides just hockey? Are there going to be giveaways and announcements and fun things going on at the same time?
It's going to be a professional hockey game. There'll be fights. There'll be entertainment in the crowd. It's going to be a lot of excitement. We've worked really hard with the arena staff to make sure these 4 games are exciting for the community. This is a community's team. We just, we need their support. This is a community's team.
And can we get the official announcement on what the team name will be in October? Can you announce that yet?
No, not yet. No, we're going to actually do a name the team contest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a community's team, so we want to interact with the community as much as possible. So once we get through the season ticket process and everything like that, we'll do a name the team contest, and we got a lot of fun ideas planned for the summertime.
All right, I'm sure 27 News will be a big part of that.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen, best of luck to you, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Oscar night a little more than a month away, and still ahead, a recap of this year's Academy Award nominations.
And the wind will taper off tonight. We'll also see clear sky and allow temperatures to drop throughout the overnight hours tonight into early on tomorrow morning. Temperatures getting the single digits, wind chills near 0, but then we warm things up for tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you about that coming up.
We're continuing to track a plane from Wichita crashing into the Potomac tonight. There is no information about casualties yet. Senator Roger Marshall said in a statement the plane was carrying roughly 60 passengers. All takeoffs and landings from Ronald Reagan National Airport are grounded, and Vice President J.D. Vance says on X, quote, "We're monitoring the situation, but for now, let's hope for the best." First responders are making water rescues and searching in the river.
A pilot in a nearby aircraft asks the question dominating headlines tonight.
Did you see that?
We're talking about that devastating crash in our nation's capital. Good evening. Thanks for watching Fox 43 News. I'm David George. 67 people are dead after a flight from Wichita collided with an Army helicopter near Ronald Reagan National Airport. Officials say they've recovered at least 28 bodies from the Potomac River. They've also recovered voice and flight data recorders from the plane. And you can actually see the search and recovery crews at work right now. Their efforts could take days. Fox 43 News is closely following this story, and we'll actually hear from somebody on the ground in our nation's capital. But first, Fox 43 News Capitol Bureau Chief Rebecca Chung is in Wichita tonight, and she's at Eisenhower Regional Airport where that plane departed from last night. Rebecca, what can you tell us now?
Yeah, David, people have been filing in throughout the day here at the airport. Some family members in the area mourning the loss of loved ones, and others here sharing their thoughts on that tragic crash. People are trying to get back to normal here at Eisenhower National Airport, but it's something that's hard to do.
It hurts me, you know, my prayers are going to be out to the world is already going through enough.
DeMarcus McHarry has worked at the airport for 25 years, now trying to come to terms with how something like this could happen.
We just need to come together and pray for each other, love each other, and my heart goes out to the family.
Passengers also reacting just hours after the deadly crash.
Things like this they're not supposed to happen. And whether it be a helicopter, a commercial jet plane, a private plane, no one should be in harm's way.
This warrants a huge investigation, you know, and a lot of federal agencies should probably review.
Meanwhile, Kansas lawmakers are digging for answers.
These families need answers to what happened here. And so as fast as we can get them to give us those answers, we'll get them out and we'll get them to the people.
Now, right now, lawmakers say they're speaking with federal investigators and they hope to have more answers in the coming days. For now, reporting live in Wichita, I'm Rebecca Chung.
Rebecca, thank you so much. And like you said, lawmakers want answers after this crash, but one Kansas congressman is also asking the public to focus on supporting the families and friends of those who died. And Fox 43 News reporter Gabriel Johnson spoke with Derek Schmidt and joins us live in studio. So, Gabe, what is he saying?
Well, David, he says at some point an investigation into what happened is warranted, but right now it's important to think of the victims and everyone who's been impacted by this tragedy. We're beginning to learn the identities of several victims in the crash. We know that multiple people were from Kansas. Earlier today, I spoke with Kansas Representative Derek Schmidt. He says we need to focus on being there for people who lost loved ones.
I heard the expressions of support and love coming out from around Kansas for the families and the friends and all the people who are involved, and that needs to be the focus right now.
Schmidt says he spoke with the National Transportation Safety Board about the investigation process and hopes to get to the bottom of this.
Folks ask the obvious question, how could it possibly have occurred? And so we have to get answers to that. Develop the facts, not just the theories or the speculation or the concerns, but the facts. And then we can make sound public policy to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Fox 43 will have continuing coverage on our air, and we will update you in real time on our website, fox43topeka.com, as soon as information becomes available. Working for you live in studio, Gabriel Johnson, Fox 43 News.
Gabe, thank you so much. Now, in addition to offering their sympathies, elected leaders from across the state are demanding answers from investigators. Congresswoman Sharice Davids and Senator Jerry Moran both tell us that they're in constant communication with federal investigators, and they hope to have more answers for us soon about what went wrong. And they want to be clear that it's still safe to fly.
We'll be working with the investigators to make sure they have the resources and the time that they need to fully investigate this.
We need to make certain, as I said earlier, that every American is safe to fly. They know they're safe to fly. There is no future of the aviation industry unless that's the case. So we're at work today, and we'll be at work tomorrow, and we'll look for those answers.
Governor Kelly tells us the names of the victims will not be released until all victims' families have been notified. Since some victims are from other countries, that process is taking some extra time, but she does expect federal investigators to release most names, if not all, by tomorrow. Earlier today, Governor Kelly ordered flags in Kansas to be flown at half staff until February 6th. That's to honor the victims of this plane crash. She extended her deepest condolences to the victims' families and thanked the over 300 first responders for their bravery. The American Airlines flight departed from Wichita around 5:30 local time Wednesday, heading for Ronald Reagan National Airport. That plane was projected to land around 9 p.m. local time there at the airport, but just before it hit the runway, it collided with that helicopter over the Potomac River. Authorities in Washington, D.C. are continuing their grim recovery operation tonight as they search for people's loved ones involved in the heartbreaking crash. The Associated Press reports conditions were, quote, not normal in the air traffic control tower. Staffing, though, in the tower was normal last night, despite longtime struggles for the FAA to staff air traffic controllers. But the configuration of staff inside that tower was not normal. Air traffic controllers regularly combine positions when somebody needs to step away from their console. And that's what happened when one controller was responsible for coordinating helicopter traffic with arriving and departing planes. You can hear the tower ask the helicopter to move out of the way.
Pass 35, get 0J in flight. Pass 35, pass behind is 0J.
Now, the two aircraft crashed into each other seconds later, and an air traffic controller then redirected planes heading to the runway to go around. Well, that's where we find Andy Fox. He's reporting from Ronald Reagan National Airport just outside of D.C. So what's the latest on the investigation?
Well, of course, we have the black boxes that have now been recovered, and we will have those investigated, and we will be getting the information out of them. And then we also have Donald Trump, who's saying he wants answers right now, and the NTSB that says we will get you some type of a preliminary report in 30 days.
Crash, this is alert 3. Crash, this is alert 3.
A day of mourning following this horrific crash between an Army helicopter and an American Airlines jetliner.
We'll find out how this disaster occurred, and we'll ensure that nothing like this ever happens again.
64 killed on the plane, 3 on the chopper. It was President Trump who first raised the questions how the crash could have happened and who may be at fault.
The people in the helicopter should have seen where they were going. I can't imagine people with 20/20 vision not seeing, what's happening up there. Again, they shouldn't have been at the same height.
At their own news conference, the NTSB said they will hold comment until a preliminary report in about 30 days.
It's not that we don't have information. We do have information. We have data. We have substantial amounts of information. We need to verify information.
Today, our Nexstar affiliate, WPRI, in Rhode Island, caught up with a family of one of the crash victims, brokenhearted.
We created our family through adoption, so our 2 sons are adopted from South Korea. Spencer, who was on the flight, who was our oldest son, kind of just felt like a nightmare and was hoping I would wake up and it would be that.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking all across the country. That's heartbreaking. We're getting that. And also, U.S. Senator Tim Kaine from Virginia complained about this airport a year ago. That will be part of the investigation, that the airspace around here is too complex for an airport like this. There's too much going on. That will be part of the investigation as well. He said a year ago that he fears something bad will happen here, and it did last night. At Reagan National, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
All right, Andy, thank you for the update. And video from early this morning shows first responders salute the remains of a crash victim. Now, there were 60 passengers and 4 crew members on the American Airlines plane, but keep in mind there were 3 soldiers on board the helicopter. There's no word on the identity of this victim. An American flag, though, was placed over the person before those remains were carried from a van to an ambulance.
Well, we're less than a day away from Farmageddon. It doesn't get better than this. A top 25 matchup here in Dublin, Ireland. K-State, Iowa State at Aviva Stadium. You can't get much better. It's going to be a lot of fun, but K-State coming into the year, of course, they're focused on consistency and making sure their players are ready for the moment and the opportunity.
Something that I know that, we're all competitive. We all want to win. We all are going to be disappointed if we don't. I hope all of our players, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, can tell whomever I was a part of that game. And I know that this game is going to continue to grow.
Head coach Chris Kleiman knows the game will be special, but says the key is keeping his team focused on football. That mindset is shared by linebacker Austin Romaine, who's embracing the challenge of preparing the same no matter the opponent.
For me, I think every game's a big game, whether we're the only game on TV or every game's on TV. So just kind of, like Dylan said, going out there and playing our game and make sure the game isn't too big, because it's not.
I feel like the difference between this year and last year, I'll be playing more, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm prepared just the same as I did last year, so I'm just going out there and playing my game.
K-State, Iowa State, 11 a.m. kickoff on Saturday, 5 o'clock here local time in Dublin. So, of course, we're gearing up for a big game, but also the NFL preseason wrapping up tonight. Sydney Clark, you're on the scene. What's going on?
The Chiefs are home sweet home as they are back inside Arrowhead for their last preseason game against the Chicago Bears. Now, head coach Andy Reid earlier in the week said the starters will get the start tonight against Chicago Bears starters. That means Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones. You should see all of those guys on the field tonight. Now, this preseason game comes before the head of the 53-man roster cut on Tuesday. Now, this is the last game like rep chance for some of those guys on the fence to battle it out. Reid said he likes the attitude, though, his players are showing this week and in preseason.
Make it hard for Veach and his crew and the coaches to get rid of them. So, and that's how they've gone about their business. I haven't seen guys counting numbers and lines and doing all that stuff. They've come out and worked hard from the first guy to the last guy, and I've appreciated that.
That 53-man roster cut deadline is next Tuesday, August 26th at 1 p.m. Now, a familiar face you might see over on the sideline tonight for the Chicago Bears is former Jayhawk of defensive end Austin Booker. Now, he is currently out right now and is questionable after he left the game last week with a knee injury, but he is having a great preseason so far. Kickoff's just about under an hour away, so working for you live at Arrowhead, Sydney Clark, 27 Sports.
Well, we're another day closer to kickoff of Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, and the crowds are really beginning to ramp up in the Big Easy. And that's where we find Rod Carter, our friend over the last couple of days here, with a look behind the scenes of the big game.
Hey, David, I hope all is well there in Topeka. It's great here. It's about 66 degrees, so it feels fantastic here in New Orleans. And I can tell you, almost like overnight, there's been a very big difference in how many folks have come here, making their way to New Orleans for the big game on Sunday or just for all of the festivities that are taking place before the game actually happens. And for us in the media, it's more like a big old party because there's one area that you can hang out and see all kinds of fun stuff. That's called Radio Row. It's at the Convention Center. Take a look and you'll see what I mean. They should really name this the Radio City or something, because that would be a better description of everything that takes place inside these walls here. Those who know the folks here, you can see the who's who of sports media figures in the house, notably Pat McAfee from ESPN. Saw Shannon Sharp doing some interviews, even caught up with my own brother roaming around there. I knew he was going to be here, but did get a chance to see him. Several star athletes here, a couple of Heisman Trophy winners, and we had the great privilege, David, of actually chatting with the one and only Old Spice man, really in character at this event.
If I'm wearing this outfit, it's hard to miss. Yeah, it's hard to miss. You know what's nice about being here is that you could be walking past a Hall of Famer and not even know it. Like, you'll just, because they'll be, they'll have a hat down or whatever, and you turn and you go, hey, that was so-and-so, Like, I saw Rich Gannon over there, went up and said hello to him. That was amazing. The brand's done a couple. The brand and the NFL have a partnership, so I'm out here usually every other year or so I'll come out.
And my fellow Nexstar reporter, Simone Eli, and I were roaming around the room there, just checking things out, having a good old time. In fact, we played with a little slime from Nickelodeon. That was kind of fun. Simone decided she had a bigger plan. She went head-to-head with the Old Spice man in a football tossing competition. He didn't have on a shirt. She had on heels. I don't know who won, but I didn't get involved because I don't have any football skills whatsoever, so I didn't even try. All around, though, a really great time, a lot of fun leading up to the big day when the Eagles and the Chiefs take the field here at the Superdome to battle it out for the real reason that we're all here in New Orleans. David?
I tell you, all work, no play makes Rod a dull guy, so I'm glad you're trying to squeeze in some good times.
Oh, yeah, having fun in the middle of it. Yes, sir.
All right, Rod, we'll check back.
And so, of course, always cold over there in New York City on New Year's Eve. Yeah. Well, usually, I mean, but here, like you were saying, Evan, the weather today has been incredible for the last day of the year.
Incredible weather. I mean, we were a degree shy of that 60-degree mark. As for New York City, they're in the lower 30s with some snow. Oh, thankfully, that's the same story for us here. I mean, a little bit of cloud cover later on tonight and sticking through our day on Thursday, but temperatures are more on the cooler side over the next few days as compared to our day today and also our day yesterday, as we're expecting highs in the lower to middle 40s as we go throughout our Thursday and Friday. Overnight lows sticking around the about middle to upper 20s. But then as we go throughout this weekend, the first weekend of 2026, mostly sunny skies for our Saturday. Temperatures slowly start to rebound to above average in the upper 40s for our Saturday. And then even warmer for our Sunday. A bit more clouds in the area, but temperatures now in the lower to middle 50s. and we only continue to get warmer as we go through the first full week of 2026. Look at that, 60 degrees for our Monday. Feels possibly in the lower to middle 60s for our Monday. And then as we continue to go throughout the early part of our week, mostly sunny skies still sticking around. So a good amount of sunshine to begin the new year. But then, you know, temperatures a few degrees colder maybe for our Tuesday and Wednesday as we fall back down to around the middle to upper 50s, but still close to that 60-degree mark, well above average for this time of year. Even overnight lows in middle 30s. So slowly begin to warm up after this cooler end of the year.
I love seeing 60s still. First week of the year, Evan. I will take that.
Yes.
Let's just take that every day until winter's over. Just kidding. But taking a look there, Times Square, New York City, where the party's at, huge crowd. It's going to be awesome, Evan.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, from all of us here, Happy New Year to you. Here's to a wonderful 2026. Have a good night.